Right, hi everybody. This is Coach Steve, and today we are going to do a 9-exercise, 3-round routine. It's all body weight. I'll give you many different options for you to progress or regress each of those exercises so you can make sure that you're moving the whole 35-45 minutes of our routine for today. We'll start with a little warm-up. We'll do a little stretch at the end. Get you ready for your day or finish out your day. And if you're watching the recording, you can watch this anytime. If you need to do more rounds than I provide, then go ahead and do that. And as always, the challenge is take one of these exercises, do them during the day to get up out of your chair and get some movement in. Okay, so get your legs a little further in hip distance, and let's go ahead and swing side to side. Nice big swings. Activate the spine. Activate the ankles. Warming up the shoulders a little bit. Get a little rotation on those legs. There we go. Okay, next we're going to do a little squat with a reach. Little squat with the reach to warm it up. Keep it nice, easy and easy. Go ahead and just use your range of motion for right now. It should get better as you go through the exercise routine for today. All right. One more thing for our warm-up. Let's put our fists in front of us. Let's punch all the way across. You can keep this nice and smooth or warming up the shoulders. Rotate those ankles a little bit. Drive that toe into the ground. Open up that upper back. Each of those stretches. Don't forget, if you're recording this on your watch, make sure you hit start. All right. So like I said, we're going to do a 9-exercise, 3-round routine today. If you have time for 1 round, that's fine. If you have time for 2, that's fine. If you have time for the whole thing, that'll be great. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get into bear crawl position. I'm going to give you a few options for this. But if you're able to get on the ground, go ahead and get onto all 4s. If you need to go elevated to regress this a little bit, just go to plank position on a heavy piece of furniture or a counter. Then shift those knees underneath your hips and get into this position and hold this position. So this is kind of like elevated bear crawl. All right, so we're going to do that for a minute. Ready and go. This is just a static exercise, so there's no need to move around. If you're all the way on the ground, get those knees right underneath your hips. Get your hands and wrists underneath your shoulders. Lift those knees up a few inches and hold that position. If at any time you feel like you need to have a little break, just drop your knees to the ground and bring them back up. Remember, each one of these exercises is 1 minute, so you can make it for 1 minute. I know you can. All right, we got 15 seconds. And rest. All right. We're going to flip over to your back. If you're unable to get on the ground, go ahead and stay in a chair for this one. That is fine. But if you're in a chair, just kind of lean back a little bit. If you're on the ground, go ahead and cross your arms across your chest. We're going to bring our knees up and we're just going to do cross crunches just like this. So not a lot of motion. It's a little bit of motion. But as you rotate, you're really going to work your core. This is great because it also supports your lower back and works your core at the same time. Let's get this rolling. And again, as you can see, you don't need to move very much to really engage that core as you spin to the right and left. Tap that elbow to your knee if you're able to, or get as close as you can. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. Woo. All right, we're back up to our feet. If you're in a chair, go ahead and stand up. So we're going to do full body chops. So I want you to put you can actually use a little weight if you want to. You're going to bring your hands up to one side, either right or left, and chop it down to your knee. All right, I'll tell you to switch halfway. So go ahead and get started. Really activate that knee. And again, if you need to make this a little bit harder, you can put a little weight in your hand, hold that, and chop. And you can go as fast or as slow as you need to go. You don't have to go my cadence. You can go whatever pace you need to go. Remember, this is your exercise routine and not mine. And switch. All right, and rest. All right, next we're going to do a plank with a leg lift. So again, you have an option of using a piece of furniture, getting in that plank position, and just lifting your legs out the back. Keep a nice straight plank position. You can go ahead and get started. In order to do this with a knee plank, just get into that plank position, bring that leg straight out, and a full plank. Just lift that leg a little bit. Trust me, even that little bit of lifting will engage those glutes, tighten that core, keep a nice strong position, strong plank position. Keep that body from your elbows to wherever's touching the ground in a nice straight line. And rest. All right, back up to our feet. All right, our fifth movement is usually a fight movement. So, I want you to go ahead and put your fists in front of you. Give a little kick forward. Punch, punch. Kick it forward. Punch, punch. Make this as vigorous as you need it to be. If you have a little pent-up aggression or frustration, you can do this a little faster. You can put weights in your hands if you want. To work on your balance, if you're having trouble with that, just keep that kick nice and low. "15 seconds. and rest. All right, our next exercise is a super person. All right, so if you're unable to get on the ground, I want you to get in, put your hands on your knees, open all the way up, push out your hips, stick out your chest, roll those shoulders back. All right, go ahead and get started. If you're doing super person, go ahead and lay on the ground. We're lifting our legs and our arms up off the ground at the same time. This is really good for your lower back. Really good for your posture when you bring those shoulders up. 20 seconds. And rest. All right. So next we're going to do speed skater lunges. So to get you started, you're bringing that lunge back at like that 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock position. So you can go ahead and get that started. If your balance is not as great as you would like it to, don't go as far back. Try not to get as much twisting motion, because the more twisting motion you have, the more that you're going to potentially throw off your balance. Okay? So just stepping it back like that. If you're a little balance challenged today, you know, we all get a little balance challenge every now and then. So, but if you're able to get a really good twist and get those feet at 90 degrees, that'll really help with that twisting musculature as you get into that lunge. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, we're either in a chair or on the ground for the next one. We're going to do flutter kicks next. So we put our hands underneath our tailbone to tip our back into the ground. So we have the support of the ground. Stick out our legs. We're going to kick our legs as small as we can. The higher you go, the easier it is. The lower you go, the harder it is. And you can do this from a chair as well. You may only be able to lift one leg at a time. It's pretty challenging to get them both off the ground if you're in a sitting position. You can recline your head or keep it up. Keeping it up really engages the core a little bit more. All right, good job. 10 more seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, so our last exercise is going to be a get up. So no real rules on this one. We're just getting up and down off the ground. If you're in a chair at this point, get up and down out of the chair. Wherever you are, make it work for you. Ready and go. So just stand all the way up, then bring it back down. So these are our ground to stand movements. Why do we do this? We do this because you never know when you're going to find yourself on the ground and going to need to get up off the ground. If you're really struggling and you need some assistance, grab onto a piece of furniture to help you get up as well. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, good job. Round number 1 is complete. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink. You can continue some side-to-side movement if you need to. Hit the bathroom real quick. We got a minute in between sets if you need to. Work on your deep breathing. Settle down that heart a little bit in between each one of these sets. Hopefully you enjoy the nice green outdoors that we got going on here today. It's pretty nice. Okay, let's get back on the ground. We're going to do those static bear crawls or static bear position. And again, I showed you at the beginning to do that elevated, which is just as effective depending on your fitness level. All right, ready? And go. Lift those knees a little bit off the ground. Keep those hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Maintain that position. Try to keep that back flat. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right. Next, we're flipping over onto our back for these cross crunches. And again, we don't need to move very much. Keep it nice and tight. Arms across your chest so you don't strain your neck. And go. We're tapping those elbows to our knees if we're able to, or get them as close as we can. Really working our core on this one. A twisting motion. Get our back is supported. 20 seconds. And rest. Woo. All right. All right, we're back up to our feet for our double chops. And again, if you want to use a little hand weight for this one, go ahead and do that. Reaching up, chopping down towards our knees. Ready and go. And again, you can be as vigorous or as intentional as you need to be for this one. All right, and switch sides. And rest. All right, we're on our planks. So again, you can do elevated plank. We can do full plank. And we can even do kneeling plank for this one. All right, whoa. Little potato bug. All right, ready and go. And we're doing a little leg lift on this one. And again, if you're on your knees, kick that leg straight back and bring it back. But make sure those glutes are nice and tight. Pull them in. Lift that leg up just a little bit. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, we're back up to our feet for our fight move. Again, fists in front. Either go low kick, high kick, or even if you just want to bring your knee up. If you're having a little trouble with your balance, go ahead and do that. All right, punch, punch, snap. This is another one of those exercises. You choose the intensity. You can ratchet the pace up. You can bring it back down. Whatever works for you for this particular exercise. You do want to challenge yourself a little bit though. So don't go too easy on yourself if you're just doing this for movement. Fifteen seconds. And rest. Nice work. Now we got super people next. Superman, superwoman, whatever you want to be today. All right, so from here, opening all the way up. If you need to stay standing. Otherwise, get on the ground. Go ahead and get started. Lift your thighs and your upper body at the same time. This is another one of those exercises where it doesn't look like you're moving that much, but really works those back muscles. 10 seconds. And rest. All right, we're back up to our feet. We are doing basically cross lunges next. Go ahead and get started. Remember, if you're still working on your balance, don't bring it back as far. If you feel like your balance is pretty good, get into that 90-degree lunge, come back to center, go out the other side. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, we're doing flutter kicks next. Don't forget, we want to push our lower back into the ground. Go ahead and get started. Push that lower back into the ground, extend those legs, and kick. And again, you can do this from a chair. You may only be able to lift one leg at a time, but that's still going to engage your core, especially if you lean back. And again, if you need a little rest, drop your legs to the ground and pull them back up. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, our last exercise for this round is round number 2. One more round to go is to get up and down off the ground. All right, ready? And go. Now, keep going up and down. It is not necessary to use any piece of furniture or anything if you don't want to or don't need to. But if you're really trying to develop that ground to stand movement, go ahead and get a piece of furniture, crawl over to it, and get up and down off the ground using that piece of furniture. All right, it's important for you to be able to get up off the ground no matter what, whatever type of situation you're in, whether you can do that independently or you need some piece of equipment in order to help you get yourself up and down off the ground. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Okay, round number 2 is over. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink, work on your breathing, settle yourself down, get ready for round number 3. If you have time for round number 3, let's go ahead and do it. We'll stretch at the end. If you don't have time, 2 rounds is better than no rounds, right? All right, I got a nice little caterpillar crawling across the mat here. I'm going to try not to squish him. All right, 20 seconds. Let's go ahead and get into our bear crawl position. This is our last round for today. Ready? And lift those knees up and go. You got this. Last round. Try to hold it as long as you can. Keep that back nice and flat. You've made it halfway. You can make it. "15 seconds. And rest. All right, we're flipping over onto our back and doing our very slight movement, cross touches with our elbows. Right? So get the hands across the chest. And again, you can do this from a sitting position too. Ready? And go. Keeping your head up keeps your core engaged a little bit more. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Woo. All right. All right, next we got side chops. or wood chops. Again, you can use a little weight if you want to. I'll tell you when it's halfway so you can switch. Ready and go. Reach it up, chop it down. Try to bend that knee a little bit. Remember, we're chopping wood here, so if we're actually chopping wood, we want to give as much force as we can. Let's go ahead and switch directions. Keep it nice and smooth. And rest. All right, we're doing our planks with a leg lift. So wherever you did planks last time, if it was too easy, go ahead and do a different plank. If it was just right, go ahead and get into the same plank position. Ready and go. Just a little leg lift is all you need to engage the lower back, engage the glutes and the hammies. Twenty seconds. And rest. Woo. All right, back up to our feet. Make sure I don't squish my little caterpillar friend here. All right. All right, remember, kick, punch, punch. Kick, punch, punch. Let's do this. Kick, punch, punch. And again, make this as vigorous as you need to make it for yourself so you get something out of it. It's going to be different for different people. So take it where you need to take it today. Maybe you got a little extra energy so you can go a little quicker with a little more intensity. Maybe you're not feeling it today and you just need to get the movement in. Do what you need to do here. 10 seconds. And rest. All right, we got super people next. So again, if you need to stay in a standing position, go down to your knees, full extension on everything, and bring it back in. Okay? If you're on the ground, belly down. Lift up your hands, your chest, and your legs. Ready, and go. All right, 15 seconds. and rest. Woo. All right, we're up to our feet. For our three-dimensional speed skaters or three-dimensional lunges. All right, don't forget we want to put some twisting action into that just to strengthen up those twisting muscles that are in our legs. Ready and go. And again, you can make this as intense as you want it. You can put a little hop into it too if you want. Or you can really go at it, so you can really ratchet up the intensity if you need it to be way more than what we're doing here today. Almost there. 15 seconds. And rest. All right. You're in the chair or on the ground for some flutter kicks. All right, stretch out those legs. Lift them up. Put that lower back into the ground for support and kick. And again, you can do this from a chair. You might only be able to do one leg at a time. You can relax your head or keep it up to engage your core a little bit more. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right, our last exercise is getting up and down off the ground or out of a chair. Good ground to stand movement and practice. Ready? And go. So however you need to get up off the ground. All right, 15 seconds. And again, you can make this as intense as you need it to be. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and done. Awesome. Awesome work today. I really appreciate you being here and being a part of this. Let's go ahead and interlock your fingers and stretch straight up. Again, make this exercise routine yours. Really get a good stretch on the side. Let's go ahead and rotate it around. Oh, feels good. All right, hands on the hips. Let's roll out those hips. Very slow and intentional. Really stretch that body as you go around. All right, let's switch directions. All right, if you're able to, you can actually do this one sitting too. Let's get into a kneeling position. Stretch out that leg. Pull the toe towards your body. Really get a good stretch on your hamstring, your calf. Just hold it there. Feel the stretch. You don't force the stretch. Just get it in the position where you can feel it. All right, let's switch. Hold it there. A few more seconds. All right. Let's get into child's pose just to stretch our back if you're able to. Push those hips towards your heels. Get the knees a little bit wider. Sink into that stretch. All right. All right. Thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you give yourself some gratitude as well for you making it to this movement session to take it wherever you need it to be. All these sessions are always for you to either get some movement in, get some moderate intensity in, or ratchet it up and get a high intensity workout in. So take what you need from these videos, and I will see you next time. And I do have a new website. It is wellnesswarriorhq.com. Let's go.